Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all genders, it is your host, Omar Q. Oh, that's the wrong psych. That's the wrong image. There it is. What's up, everyone? We got a wonderful show planned for you today. Unplanned. I don't know. I have concepts of a plan. Anyway, I'm a lot better prepared for this than the President of the United States is for his job, but I got a lot to talk about today. Major breaking news as we're coming on the air regarding some contract status of one of WWE's biggest stars. We also have news about Wardlow injured once again. Very unfortunate news about him. I'll hit you with the details as we get them. And of course, AJ Lee, she returned to WWE. What the hell is going on there? Is it good? Is it bad? Is it okay? We're going to talk about it. And I'm going to give you my unfiltered, unfettered thoughts right here. We also have Super Omega in the chat. What's up, Super Omega? Good day, mate. Good day to you, too. Bryan Danielson was doing some media down in Australia this week. A couple of big interviews. We'll take a look at an excerpt from one of them where he talks about some of his favorite wrestlers. There's also this really controversial list that I want you guys to take a look at. It's like WWE listed their most indestructible wrestlers of all time, and it is one of the most insane things I've seen, genuinely. So we'll talk about that. What's up, Super Omega? Good to see you, friend. Good to see Jay Barnacles in the building, as Kenny not Kenny Omega. Kenny Baum would say. What's up, Jay Barnacles? We also have Job in the chat. What's up, Job? Hello, everyone. As you join, please sound off in the chat. Also, be sure to leave a thumbs up. The more of you hit your thumb right there, or hit that thumbs up, I should say, the more people see the stream. So let's keep on going, hitting it. Use your alt accounts. Do what you got to do. Let's make it happen. We got Michelle in the chat. Hey, Omar. Good to be with you. Good to be with you, too, my friend. We also have Job. My God. With WWE and AJ Lee, more things change, the more they stay the same. Well, we will talk about it. What's up, Frank? What's up, everyone? We got all the OGs in the chat. All the OGs are joining the chat slowly but surely. Let's start off with a bit of a palate cleanser about some of the big news that's happening, some of the big news that's been just breaking over the past couple of days in the wrestling world. We do have the return, I should say, and I'm really excited about this. So, guys, in case you didn't know it, BTE is back, Being the Elite, which used to be the Young Bucks' big vlog, and the Elite's big vlog. Cody was a part, owner of it for a while, and now it's the Young Bucks thing. They are officially back. They posted their first official Young Bucks vlog for the first time in a couple of years, and there's this recurring joke in there where it was they were called the Young Bums, and they're out here all they're in Reseda, California, just sipping on water, and then someone just leaves change in it, which, look, not making fun of anyone who's that's their situation, but what I will say is their reaction to it was solid gold. So anyway, that happened. Tony Khan responded to the Young Bucks following their newest Being the Elite video titled "We Are Not Bums," and he said the following. To paraphrase the late, great Buddy Rogers, to nicer guys, it couldn't have happened. I guess I showed you a thing or two about dirty work. That is Tony Khan. So they are certainly playing this up. I'm really enjoying the Young Bucks and their storytelling right now. Their gimmick right now, to me, really is, I would say, amongst the best gimmicks in pro wrestling today. I genuinely mean that. Their whole thing of, they got the EVP title ripped away from them. They're no longer in that role as far as the storyline goes. All right. Start at the bottom, and they are starting from rock freaking bottom. And I don't know. I'm a huge fan of it. I'm a huge, huge fan of it. Job says, Bucks are doing some of the best work. I think so, too. This is right up there with some of their best work. This is Coalition. Collision was okay this week, setting up more matches for All Out. Collision was, I would say, AEW Collision this week was more important than it has been in a couple of months. And, usually Collision was a show I'm very excited about because, get a lot of wrestling, you get some like really cool storyline development, but it's been falling off recently. But this past week was a really, really good addition. I thought one of the best in recent memory for sure. So, shout out to Collision. We're here for the sickos. Something that we can't shout out, something that is just quite unfortunate, if we're being totally honest. Let's talk about Wardlow. So, big news, breaking news hit earlier today. It was announced that Wardlow, who just returned from injury at AEW Forbidden Door, is indeed injured once again, pretty significantly. FightfulSelect.com. Wardlow has sustained an injury almost immediately after returning from a year-plus absence. Sources in AEW said the injury is feared to be a torn pectoral muscle, which would sideline him for quite some time. This is, some guys just have, or some wrestlers just have a lot of bad luck. I think, man, Wardlow's getting to be right up there as far as like the worst injury luck I think we've seen out of a promising pro wrestling talent. He was as over as one could be, genuinely, as over as a young star could be in this business going into Double or Nothing 2022. The entire storyline with MJF is still one of the best that AEW's ever told. And you really felt like this was a guy who whether he was a heel, face, whatever, he was going to be a prominent fixture in your main event scene. You felt like you had made a star. And as Jay Barnacles in the chat says, dude just can't catch a break. It's crazy news. It's insane news. It's unfortunate news. And you feel for him. You genuinely do. Of course, I mean, look, Wardlow, who knows what a year from now could hold for him. Like, that's probably about how long he's going to be out. Like, what is it, 6 months to a year? But, what can you say? Because, at this point, right, you can't blame Wardlow if he just feels like he's snake bit at this point, and maybe his run with AEW snake bit. And for AEW, you're kind of looking at this like, you can only reboot someone in the same company so many times with it like feeling fresh. And, it's crazy because the pop he got, I genuinely felt like, all right, Wardlow, not only is he back, but he's got some momentum. You could do something with it. You need to capitalize immediately. And then we don't see him on Dynamite the next week. And I am immediately like, why would you run this big angle without having him ready to go, without him being there? And now we know why. And now, it's just unfortunate. It really does suck. I feel for Wardlow. The dude's had a very weird and unfortunate hand dealt to him when it comes to Wardlow, but yeah. Job says, there sure was a lot of chatter about Wardlow going to WWE until it didn't happen. I mean, anything's possible in wrestling. I don't like his contract situation. I'm sure at this point, AEW's got all of the rights to multiple years, but I don't foresee. I don't know. Who knows? It's obviously way too early to tell, but I could see him leaving it one way or another. Wardlow and Adam Cole are having shit luck. Yeah. Yeah. That's another guy whose recent career has been very snake bit. The thing about Wardlow is Wardlow had never really had an opportunity to have the career that Adam Cole had before these injuries became a major concern, right? Wardlow had maybe a year before injuries started happening. He got injured again, and then of course you had the American Gladiator thing, which kept him out a little bit longer. So it's unfortunate. I don't know what is next for Wardlow. I mean, obviously he's got a big road to recovery ahead of him, but man, you feel for him. You feel for him because this is a guy who had big superstar written all over him. I still think he does in some way. It just sucks. It just sucks, man. It just like you don't want to see that happen to anyone. You don't want to see that happen, like especially someone who has the history that Wardlow has. Yeah. What can you say, man? It's just quite unfortunate. You know what's not unfortunate? Hunter Dobbs in the chat. What's up, Hunter? You guys, by you guys, I mean the San Francisco 49ers barely outlasted the Seattle Seahawks, but you did. My Baltimore Ravens, unfortunately, just our defense in the fourth quarter was John Cena because it was nowhere to be found. It was insane. But glad you guys got the dub, I guess. Homer, the Bryan Danielson rep. I'm not a Bryan Danielson rep. I'm just a representative of the truth. And Bryan Danielson being the GOAT is the truth. Here's the thing. I know I'm saying it as if it's a work. That is my objective take. Take my bias out of it completely. My objective, as a wrestling analyst take, is that Bryan Danielson is the greatest professional wrestler to ever lace up a pair of boots. Take favoritism, aura, all that stuff out of it. I don't think that there has been someone in professional wrestling better all around than Bryan Danielson. Yeah, fight me in the chat. Go ahead. Honestly, I thought Wardlow would be a world champion in AEW. Yeah, I did too. It looks like Daniel Garcia is going to be pushed to be a major player with Ospreay and Swerve out. He should be. I've been saying this for a while. I was for the Danny Garcia, the little dancing gimmick he was doing for a while. It is overplayed at this point, and it is time for him to find something new. If whatever the new thing is the Death Riders, and then maybe splitting off and finding himself and being an established act, then sure, I'm here for it. Bryan Danielson versus Nigel, Civil War on commentary. Well, good segue into one of the big stories that broke actually over the weekend, that being that the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, yes, folks, the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, it is official. Tony Khan announced that Bryan Danielson would join the AEW announce team, the commentating team, full-time moving forward, starting this Wednesday night on AEW Dynamite. Bryan Danielson will be joining AEW commentary full-time. What does that mean for the commentary team and what it's going to look like? There's a few different ways that this could play out. Obviously, you have Taz, you have Tony Schiavone. You would think that one of those guys is going to take a back seat. One of those guys is going to be maybe faded out a little bit. I'm sure they're still going to be available for pay-per-views and whatnot. But in my view, I know a lot of people are very down on Tony Schiavone's commentary. I think Tony Schiavone doesn't really add much for me other than sometimes you'll hear Tony Schiavone and it'll be kind of like the JR effect a little bit. Although I think JR is more effective at it. Where it's really just cool to hear him on commentary. But I know a lot of people would love to see him replace Tony. I would rather him replace Taz. And my reasoning for this is one of the things that used to be the case for AEW commentary was it was a lot more serious when it needed to be. And I think I think it was All Out 2022. At All Out 2022, Taz became a full-time announcer for Dynamite and for pay-per-views. And the tone of commentary shifted quite drastically because that is when things felt like they became a little less serious. That is when because Taz, by his nature, he's a funny guy. He cracks jokes every once in a while. And what that tends to do is it'll rub off on Excalibur. So to me, I'm watching this and I'm thinking, well, I would rather have the tone be reset a little bit because Brian's quirky, but he's not gonna right into the mic. Taz will do his little laugh, will be and it'll kind of be weird, or he'll tell a joke and interrupt a point. And I'm not saying he's not effective at times, But I think Bryan's just significantly more effective, significantly more serious, but not in a way that hinders the entertainment. I think Bryan also is just a fresh voice. He adds so much on commentary. Bryan Danielson he is the GOAT for many reasons, but his ability to put young talent over too, which is I think the primary role of a color commentator in pro wrestling, his ability to do that I think is second to none. We got Super Omega saying, Daniel on commentary was great a few weeks ago. It added so much depth to the TV show. I agree. We got Gerard Clark saying, will Bryan Danielson do some training and producing behind the scenes in addition to commentary? Bryan is definitely, whenever he is there, he is available to the talent. Talent do ask him questions and stuff. So, and I'm sure he's gotten in the ring and done stuff. He's also helped produce stuff with Tony. But I think it's more of an ad hoc basis. The commentary role I would say is more of a fit definite role for him. The other stuff is kind of just him being around and when you're around, when you're in a locker room and you're Bryan Danielson, people are bound to come and ask you questions. People are bound to come and spar with you or ask about moves and stuff like that. That's going to happen, It's going to happen. You saw Collision. It was better than last week's Dynamite, in my opinion. I am not going to disagree with that. I think Collision did clear Dynamite this week. Because Dynamite, it just didn't. I was hyped for it because especially last week, the week before, Dynamite was so good. This week, I was like, it was a fine show, decent. Some good stuff on the show. But, look, you're not going to get... Look, you know what? Guys, you know what you didn't get on Dynamite? You didn't get MJF 24 hours removed from his wedding. 24 hours removed from his wedding. When he's supposed to be on his honeymoon, costing Mark Briscoe a match out of pettiness. Hilarious stuff. Maxwell Jacob Friedman is the greatest heel of all time. His wife was healing out on him. Shout out to Alicia Atut Friedman. His wife was healing out on him on Twitter. That was really funny. Shout out to Maxwell Jacob Friedman, though, for getting married. Danielson, Bret Hart, Ospreay, Hogan on my Mount Rushmore. Those are some big names. I think, I've always said, I don't like doing the Mount Rushmore stuff. I think, because, all time is just so hard. It's very difficult to do all time, in my opinion, because there's just so many worthy people. I could probably do one for, each decade, but, all time would just be so hard. Bryan would be on it, right? But, everyone else, it would be Bryan. I think the only people that I know for sure would be on it would be Bryan and Ric Flair. I think Ric Flair, is definitely one of the most, consequential wrestlers of all time. And he's just, no one can do what, and bring to the table, I think, what a Ric Flair can. Do you think Tony Khan is scared of running against WWE after he changes start time pay-per-view? It's not scared. It's just they're doing what they got to do for business reasons. I think there's only so many times you could do it. That being said, I enjoy the afternoon start times for these pay-per-views. It gives me a lot more time to do stuff in the city if I'm there or just enjoy my night. I'm partial to doing 3. I think AEW should always do a 1 p.m. start time or a 3 p.m. start time Eastern for their pay-per-views. I understand I am not everyone, but I think people in the UK definitely appreciate it. People in Europe definitely appreciate it because they can get to bed at a reasonable time, or reasonable enough time. But yeah, I'm honestly just for AEW moving all their pay-per-views to 3 p.m. in the afternoon. Give me afternoon. Fuck it. Give me morning wrestling, dog. Give me 10 a.m. wrestling. I want to eat brunch and watch pay-per-view wrestling. But yeah, I would say that. Yeah, I would say. Was this Wall Street money? Where's Mount Rushmore is Bryan Danielson with 4 expressions? No, how dare you? How dare you say that? My Mount Rushmore, I'll have you know, of Bryan Danielson is just Bryan Danielson. It's Bryan Danielson. It's the same picture. That's what y'all don't get. It's Bryan Danielson. It's the same pose. It's the same thing. It's this. Give me the copy paste 4 times. This is the Bryan Danielson Mount Rushmore. It's just this face. Honestly, looking at it from a logical standpoint, counter-program AEW, it's only going to hurt WWE in the long run because you're going to have to rush storylines. I mean, it's not like there's many storylines to fucking rush. It's not, rushing storylines. I think is a luxury to people and companies that actually tell storylines in the first place. Anyway. I know. I'm spicy today, guys. I'm spicy today. AJ Lee is back, but saw all the marks going crazy like it was Stone Cold, The Rock coming back. What I will say is, man, like, look, I think what AJ Lee got was a very worthy react. Like, look, at the end of the day, there are a lot of people who associate AJ Lee and have a connection to AJ Lee that is deep. Like you have to remember, when women were not getting a lot of TV time, when women were getting like 5 minutes per Raw for total, like including entrances and stuff, AJ was like one of the very, very few women who was able to get meaningful time consistently. She was at one point WWE's central character. She was the central character of the company for a good part of 2012. So I I understand why you have an entire group of fans who gravitated towards her. I marked out. Like I'll say it. I marked out to AJ Lee's return. Like that's not like a hot take or anything, because she hasn't been involved in wrestling in over 10 years. She carried that division to the point where it was feasible, and like the higher ups, the old gooners in charge, the gooner boomers, like were actually like taking women's wrestling a little bit more seriously, and that was the gateway to the women's revolution that we saw. So to me, I'm here for it. And AJ deserves her flowers. She missed out on the greatest boom period in women's wrestling that we had ever seen. In my view, I think she deserves everything that she's got and more. I'm excited for it. It's one of the very, very few things in WWE right now that I am hyped for. And I think it's also like a bit of like Seth Rollins, man. The Seth Riders. They somehow find a way. They are the true cockroaches of professional wrestling, the Seth Riders. Like, they're just associated with anything big. It's crazy. Gerard says AEW should premiere streaming live events on the afternoons from now on. Doesn't go on at 1 p.m., then 3 p.m. Good idea. Yeah, I'm for that. I'm totally for that. I feel like people who never seen AJ Lee when she was in WWE wouldn't understand. People went off on Friday. Yeah, I agree. I think that, although I do think that there are certainly some people out there who didn't really know who AJ Lee was, who were just like, oh my god, oh! Look. We create content. It's what we do. There's gonna be some of that. But I do think the vast majority of the reaction and the love that you saw for AJ Lee was very legitimate. I don't get AJ Lee hype. She's back because of Punk. I mean, yeah, sure. Punk probably is the person who was able to convince her, because she was out on coming back for a long time. They tried to get Punk to convince her when he was in AEW, and that was like a line that he wouldn't cross, apparently. But yeah, I enjoy it. I am here for it. I love it. As Tony Schiavone would say, I love it. What do we got? This is so funny. Rush storylines. Y'all are funny. I want to see AJ Lee world champion run instead of the usual females. I think that's in the cards. I think it'll happen. She will get a run with the title. I certainly think she will. AJ Lee started the Give Divas a Chant move. Yeah, she was a big part of that. WWE just having 2 to 3 weeks to build matches. It's crazy. Can't build any good storytelling. I mean, like, again, you have to have stories in general in order to tell stories quickly. I don't understand. Look, WWE does not really tell stories. They're just in aura farming. They have concepts of stories. They have concepts of stories that they feed you on their program, and then the rest of it is just aura farming. And oh my God, look at these this major WWE moment presented by Slim Jim. Like, gives a fuck. like being honest, like I'm not. I've already done the rant. I've done the rant about WWE and nonsense, non-existent storytelling enough. I don't want to. I am not going to sit here and say that. I'm not going to sit here and do anything else. I feel like you guys all at this point pretty much know where I stand. I posted a video, by the way. This is a good plug for my latest video. If you guys want to hear me talk critical about AEW, or well, actually, that's there too. You know, if you guys want to hear me talk critical of anything, you guys can go check out the videos on the main channel. All original video essays, courtesy of yours truly. I talk about it all. AEW, TNA, WWE. I have a bunch in the tank. If you guys have not seen any of these, please go check them out as soon as the live stream ends. They're really good. Really well produced, in my opinion. Self-produced, in my opinion. Actually, as a matter of fact. But a lot of cool topics here. Topics that you don't really see covered in most mainstream American wrestling coverage. But, you know, the problem with AEW Forbidden Door, why WrestleMania will never come to London, the death of the WWE draft, the truth about TNA's TV contract, because I know a lot of you guys out there are hearing Eric Bischoff and others say that they're going to be the number 2 company, which is nah. The truth about AEW on HBO Max, and just released today, get these numbers up, fam. John Cena's final year has been awful. I break down everything wrong with John Cena's final year. A lot of evergreen stuff. Please go check that out, guys, on the main channel as soon as you're done. Make yourself a playlist. Just go watch them. Listen to them like a podcast. I think they're dope. I also made them, so obviously they're dope. Crazy they claim AEW has no stories. I mean, yeah, you can say that AEW, if you don't like the stories AEW is telling, I think that's fine. But AEW does give time. In fact, I would say AEW gives way too much time. They have stories that they drag out. But WWE has concepts of a story. They will have concepts of a storyline, like, within the show. And then, you know, like, they'll gaslight you. Oh, my God, look how big this moment is. Look at this. Oh, my God. Like, amazing, big, spectacular, boom. Ah. Anyway. If I forget to type, it doesn't matter on the last post. I'm happy AJ Lee is back, but it made me think about the art versus business discussions. Business-wise, the return was a success. Art-wise, remained to be seen. Is that fair? 100%. Because one thing we do know is that WWE have brought in a lot of former talent, and the art has not necessarily been there. I think, you know, Nikki Bella, TBD, but we're still kind of in the honeymoon phase of that whole thing. We'll see what that does long term. We'll see, you know, the Brock Lesnar thing, obviously. That, I mean, I also got to say, it was pretty disgusting to me. Like, pretty, like, cowardly and disgusting to me that they tried to use AJ Lee's return, which everyone knew was going to happen and everyone knew was going to pop a rating. Everyone knew was going to be a major moment and was why people were watching. It pisses me off that they use that as like a cover for, oh, look, Brock showed up and advanced this story kind of. We just threw Brock in there. Because, like, look, we all know what would happen. You know damn well if Brock Lesnar shows up to Friday Night SmackDown without the cover of AJ Lee, without AJ Lee having to cover for Brock Lesnar, essentially, and her return having to cover for Brock Lesnar, we know damn well there would be a lot of people talking about Brock Lesnar in a negative light, talking about WWE in a negative light. And that was a strategic decision that WWE made. Personally, think it's disgusting to use a woman's return to do that. That's my own personal opinion. I think it's like only a coward would do that. And, obviously the person who books WWE, Triple H, has been very cowardly. He refused to answer questions at SummerSlam. He's I'm with the people. I like this better. I'm the game, and look how global this brand is. We got people from where are we? We're in North Jersey. We got people in Yonkers. We got people coming from Yonkers. That's how global we are. Like, come on, Jesus. Anyway, no, I thought that shit was gross, to be honest. Is Cena's heel turn and babyface turn the worst thing we could ever see in wrestling? To quote John Cena himself,
I am going to ruin wrestling.
Yeah, I think that they succeeded in that. They did ruin wrestling. WWE's main event scene was absolutely unwatchable for the months that John Cena was a champion. To me, it is the most disappointing storyline. I will say this. I genuinely think, as an analyst, like take my own personal biases or whatever flavors out of it. As an analyst, looking at everything objectively as possible, I think it's this and the Invasion storyline, the two most disappointing storylines in WWE history, certainly. I think there's no question about that. It's TBD whether this is going to be perceived as worse than the Invasion storyline. I personally think that this has quite the case, but the Invasion storyline was like that should have been the biggest story in wrestling history, and it wasn't. That being said, for me personally, for something I was looking forward to, for something I was around for something I was a fan for, I think this hurt. I was expecting like something maybe that was where I fucked up. I was expecting something, some semblance of storytelling, and we got none. It was genuinely, anyone who tells you that they enjoyed the John Cena heel turn and watched every promo, watched every match, anyone who did all of that, who watches the program, I'm not talking about just posts about it on Twitter or watches clips online. Anyone who watched everything that John Cena did from the moment he turned heel until that match at SummerSlam, they would be lying to you if they told you that it was good. I objectively, hand to God, cannot see how unless you were just not paying attention. If you're on your phone doom scrolling while you got WWE in the background, then maybe you could find a way. But if you are locked in watching, I don't understand how you like that. I like, from any demographic, like, and I work in PR, it is my job to get into other people's heads and see things from their perspective and how they would react. I genuinely don't understand, like, how you can think that's good. In the chat asks, is AJ going to show up tonight? AJ Lee is planned to be on Monday Night Raw tonight, yes. AJ Lee, the plan is for her to be on Monday Night Raw, yes. Confirmed. Yes, AJ Lee would have returned even if Brock didn't show up, but they used her return to take heat off Brock being on the same show. Absolutely. And I thought that shit was disgusting. I think Triple H is a coward for having booked it and having signed off on it. And yeah, because he doesn't have the testicular fortitude to put Brock as a main attraction on something. He does not. It's not there. What does JR always say on this? Like, it's got thimble balls. Balls can fit in a thimble. JR used to crash. I miss the old. Actually, I do, like, all the Conrad Thompson podcasts. The one I still like check in on very consistently is Grillin' JR, because, man, we don't appreciate Jim Ross enough. He is such an old, like, cranky fart, and I love him so much for it. Because he's just crashing out on everything. He's like, oh, yeah. It's like, because Conrad will ask him, like, all right, so, Jim, what did you think about the Ultimate Warriors run in 1995? And Jared's like, I think it fucking sucked. Next question. Like, he'll just crash out, and it's the funniest thing, bro. Shout out to JR, man. Shout out to JR. Wishing you best health, wishing you best everything, man. JR is I like JR is gonna be one of those people, man. Where I'm you know, obviously, like, from a distance as a fan, I'm gonna be very, very I'm gonna be very emotional. You know, when the day comes that he unfortunately, like, you know, is not with us. Hopefully it's not for a long time, obviously, but, you know, knowing that he's older, but, you know, I don't know. It's just shout out to JR. All love, man. All love. He's the greatest announcer of all time. It is not even close. Like I genuinely say, it is a one-man race. I will hear no one say Michael Cole is in the same breath as JR as an announcer. That is, like, not even sacrilege. That is just, like, that's blasphemy, bro. That's blasphemy. Well, after 1.1 million viewers for SmackDown, WWE had to bring the Legends to boost the rating. I mean, that was definitely part of it. I feel like AEW chose art every time. Like, I feel like the Timeless Tony Storm character would not exist in WWE. It would just be, like, it would just be worse, I think. Like AEW did that gimmick, what is perceived to be a WWE gimmick, better than I think WWE would have done it. Because they gave it room to breathe. Triple H knows he's wrong to bring Brock back. I don't think he cares. I genuinely don't think he cares. Could we see Alicia interfering in Mark Briscoe's angle? I don't think she'll interfere. I think what'll probably end up happening is Alicia Etude will kind of take on a bit of a Renee Young role in that. Not that, like, she's... I'm not going to, like, compare her to Renee Young or anything like that, but I think she'll take on a Renee Young-esque role in that that's the kind of way she interacts with Max on camera or people who are feuding with Max. Because, like, you know how, like, it's kind of like an open secret, even in kayfabe, like, oh, Mox is married to Renee, and it'll be mentioned every now and then, like, yeah, every now and then you'll have, like, a character, like, call out Renee for something her husband did on TV or something. I think I could very well see that happening with Alicia and Max, but they've been pretty good about, like, not really associating those two too much on TV. Instead of counter-programming AEW, why not have WWE PLEs premiere a few weeks or a month before or after AEW's pay-per-views? What's the problem? I mean, there's no problem. It's they want to hurt AEW. I'm not even trying to sound, like, conspiratorial or whatever. Like, it's just the truth. Like, they for years did not do it with the main roster, and then they suddenly started to. They go out of their way to put, you know, their pay-per-views up against Saturday Night's Main Event, up against WWE. Like, it is clear that they do not want AEW to... They want AEW to lose popularity. They don't want them there. Because for WWE, it is a lot better. If TKO is very aggressive, extremely aggressive in the way they go about their business. Like, there's a reason why MLW sued WWE for like whatever the antitrust thing. There's a reason why WWE settled $20 million out of court for that. It's because they crossed the line, and I don't think this crosses into antitrust yet. Over time, it very well could, if any tampering or something like that were to occur, but. It's just it's extremely aggressive business by TKO and WWE. They don't want AEW to have a good share of the market share, and they want to control as much of it as possible, because what does that mean for WWE? If AEW doesn't exist, they don't have to pay their wrestlers as much. AEW doesn't exist. When you think about professional wrestling, your main option is WWE, and that is probably and most likely what you're going to spend your money on if WWE is the industry leader. That's just what it is. Because, like, think about it, like seriously, Ring of Honor was around, TNA was around, all those companies were around for years, but in the closure of WCW, even people who hated WWE, like, watched that product. They kept up with that product, you know? So, yeah. Yeah, Job with an opinion here. Let's face it, It's Sour Graps. No, Sour Graps is a show hosted by Alex Pulowski on Fightful. Shout out to Fightful. Let's face it. It's Sour Grapes. Jim Cornette and Eric Bischoff, Bubba Ray are not on Tony Khan's payroll. I mean, yeah. Yes. I don't think that they are on Tony Khan's payroll at all. It would be, in fact, if they were, Tony Khan would be the dumbest payroll manager ever. Is TKO aware there will be unforeseen consequences if they don't stand down to WWE or AEW? Excuse me. No, they don't care. They do not care. They are aggressive in their business. It is just what it is. They do not care. If you don't like that, they don't want you as a fan. That's not even they have basically said this. They joke about this constantly. Nick Khan made a joke about fans who can't afford WWE tickets, calling them cheap. It's pretty in your face. Could Konosuke Takeshita become a babyface? He is becoming a babyface before our very eyes. My beautiful prince, Konosuke Takeshita, and his wonderful anime villain pants. His I love those. I literally bought a pair of big, bulky, bushy anime villain pants so I could look like Konosuke Takeshita. Yes, I'm that level much of a nerd. Well, no, I also just wanted anime villain pants, but I was like, oh, yo, I got the Takeshita pants on. Let's go. $70K for front row WrestleMania. Yeah, it's insane. Anyway, someone who is probably not going to be. Wait. Oh yeah, sorry. This was the story I needed to cover. How silly of me. Okay, we got another story to cover, another AJ to talk about because. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all genders, AJ Styles' contract with WWE expires around February 2026, according to those close to Styles via FightfulSelect.com reporting this. And we have another aggregation here of the Fightful Select story saying the following, quote, multiple sources indicated that prior to re-signing with WWE on his most recent extension, AJ did indeed put feelers out about potential options outside of the company. Specifically, it was noted he was generating major interest on the convention circuit from promoters, and it was mentioned that the interest was mutual and at least exploratory. It's unclear as to whether or not Styles was looking into wrestling for other promotions. AJ Styles, could he be running about? I'm sorry. If AJ, look, obviously the thing that everyone immediately goes to is will he join AEW? I would be down for AJ to be I would love AJ I would love for him to maybe just be a guy on the indies, but then have a big feud in AEW. They bring him in for one feud. I don't think he needs to be a full-time guy. He only has probably a year or two left after his contract runs out. That he'd even want to do this. But it would be really, really, really cool, in my opinion, if AJ shows up and the feud is automatically AJ Kenny and the Young Bucks kind of caught in the middle. Give me that. Give me Elite. Come on, bro. It's called AEW for a reason. Elite is in the name. Give me Elite lore. That is why I'm here. That is why we watch. That is why we all got into it. Give me Bullet Club Elite lore. Let's do it. That's when the company's at its best. And then let him retire in TNA. Perfect. Yes. Probably go back to TNA. Yeah, sure. Do TNA. Give me that one feud. Look, give me 3 months of your time, AJ. Let's do it. Do Kenny Omega. You and Kenny. It's never going to happen, bro. Come on. He attacked you. He kicked you out of Bullet Club. I've been waiting 10 years for this fucking storyline. Let's do it. Come on. Literally, I've been waiting 10 years. Styles versus Omega. The guy that kicked him out of Bullet Club. Exactly. Let's do it. What are we waiting for? Just what are you guys waiting for? I'm sitting here, 26 of you watching, and I love every single one of you were watching. But only 16 likes? And these t-shirts are too tight too, Billy. Anyway, if you're watching, please leave a thumbs up, guys. That thumbs up means more than you could ever know. Please, 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 let's get this up. All you got to do is scroll, click, and then we're back to it. All right? Please do that. Please, please, please. I am begging you. Takeshita dethrones MJF in 2026. I think that there is a way to Takeshita winning the title, but I think it could be a little bit. Here's my theory. My theory is the way this goes is Hangman is defeated by MJF at some point, but then MJF, the only person who could outdo MJF for being an asshole is probably Don Callis, and Don Callis finagles a way to make Kyle Fletcher the world champion. And then going into All In Wembley, it is Kyle Fletcher, Will Ospreay, Fletcher going in as a champion, Ospreay leaving as a champion, and then we get Ospreay and Takeshita as I think the last feud of whatever Ospreay's run would be. That would be cool that's cool fantasy booking on my perspective. I think there's very few ways you could do this and not have it be good though. Imagine if him and Finn did an elite angle in AEW. You got the Good Brothers. You got Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson. Come on, man. Come on. Let's do it. AJ Styles versus Ospreay might give Dave Meltzer a heart attack. Let's hope not. Shout out to Uncle Dave. TNA and New Japan, AJ Styles. Yeah, I could see he'll definitely do something in TNA. 100% he'll do something in TNA. Conflamed. Konosuke Takeshita equals Majin Buu. Like I am not the only one who thinks this, right? Like Takeshita consistently, whenever he comes out and I think the best aura farmer in AEW is Konosuke Takeshita. Nobody aura farms like him because he's just he's just staring off and he's like he'll raise an eyebrow and he'll go like, "Yes, I am Takeshita. Hear me roar." Hold on, let me see. If I'm just gonna search Konosuke Takeshita pants, because he be wearing the anime Okay, I think I found it. Yeah, so it's kind of like the baggy pants. Y'all see what I'm putting down? Look at that. These are some anime villain ass baggy pants. Am I lying? I do think that he be. Takeshita be he's stunting in him too, bro. He's he works it. Shout out to Takeshita. No, and don't give me I can say another man is working it. All right, we can anyway. We need Darby Allin and Bam versus Johnny Knoxville and Dean Ambrose tag match. That'd be wild. That'll be some wild stuff, Greg. That'd be some wild stuff. I think the end game, I would love to see an exploding barbed wire steel, or not exploding barbed wire. What is it? Exploding barbed wire death match between Hangman and Darby to end this feud. That's how you end this. In your opinion, who's going to beat Toni Storm? At this point, I don't know. I don't think they've built anyone yet to beat her, but I would honestly, you've done this for so long. I would make a new star out of it. Tekla, Julia Hart. I would have one of them. Tekla or Julia Hart. Omar, let's say John Cena's heel turn still happens in Elimination Chamber, but not with The Rock and Travis Scott being involved with that been better. I mean, it doesn't matter. My issue with the heel turn, take Rock and Travis Scott out of it. My main issue with the heel turn was there was nothing of substance in those promos. There was nothing of substance in those storylines. There was nothing of substance in those matches. It didn't make sense. It made absolutely... Take Rock and Scott out of it. None of it made sense. You saw Tony Khan run into the... I did. Did you guys see that? Did you guys see Tony Khan running to the back? Athena? I could see Athena. Athena's another one I would do. Oh my God, Tony Khan running is actually trending. That's crazy work. But yeah, no. This is Tony Khan. He was very angry. Look how angry Tony Khan is here. Yeah, run. Look at yeah. He's like, I'm angry. I'm angry. I'm Tony Khan. Although, did you guys see like Shad Khan? Yeah, like Shad Khan did like so. Someone posted this. Oh yeah. Okay. So Shad Khan gave like a after the Jags won yesterday. Shad Khan, Pakistani owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Shout out to my Pakistani bro, Shad Khan. Even though he's a billionaire and we hate that. Um, he he did like a victory speech and he gave the coach like the rookie coach a game ball, and someone said like, "Yo, no paternity test needed, no DNA test needed. That is 100% Tony's dad." And I watched this and I was like, "Yeah, you know what? That fits so hard."
This is what we envisioned in January, okay?
Yes, sir.
It's happening here in September. Gonna go on forever!
Yeah, that's definitely Tony's dad. Like forever. Yo, shout out to Shahid Khan. Yo, man. Even though he's a billionaire and we hate that. Why was Tony running? You're all asking. He's just running. He's just being silly. I think he was in character because he came out after the big beatdown that the heels did on Wednesday after Dynamite, and he just came out all angry, and because it was after like they beat up Kenny Omega, and he was just like, I'm gonna do something to the Young Bucks. You know, he's just Tony likes to be silly. AEW has some of the best talkers in wrestling, and TK still can't cut a promo. Yeah, no. Here's the thing, TK shouldn't cut a promo. I will say this though, Tony Khan has cut one really good promo in his entire career, and it was when he like did the thing about New Japan. He was like, hey Nick, where he just called out Nick Khan for no reason. It's like, hey Nick, guess what? You want to talk about having a relationship or having discussion with New Japan? I'm in partnership with New Japan now. We're doing Forbidden Door. I reunited Roppongi Vice. I'm like, yo, bro, reuniting Roppongi Vice is an insane thing to name check, but all right. Greg in the chat says, Tony ran faster than anyone on the Jags team. His dad should sign him. Yeah, honestly. Yeah, who needs Travis Etienne when you got TK? Fanboy owner. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Like, 100%, bro. Like, look at this. Yeah, he's like, yeah, Coach Gamble. Yeah. Tony should be a heel boss character. I think we're years, multitudes of years away from that ever happening. Multitudes of years. But guys, while I have you here, if you're not multitude years away from going to a wrestling show, let me help save you $20 with the promo code REALTAKE. Guys, if you are out there and you can hear the sound of my voice and you are thinking about going to a wrestling show, but your main concern is tickets are too damn expensive, boy, do I have a deal for you today. Here's all you got to do. You sign up with SeatGeek, you use the promo code REALTAKE at checkout, and you get $20 off your first purchase. Boom, just like that. $20 off your first purchase. And you might be asking yourself, Omar, how the hell did you get $20 off your first purchase? Well, first, you click the link in the description. You sign up. You go check your ticket. You go your checkout. You go get whatever ticket you want. And you use the promo code REALTAKE, REALTAKE, REALTAKE at checkout. And that's $20 in your wallet. I am giving you $20, essentially, kind of, is what's happening here. I am giving you kind of $20 here. That's all you got to do. You sign up with SeatGeek, and you save $20 off your first purchase. So if you're thinking about going to an AEW show or something, and you're like, oh, well, these tickets are like $100. Well, now they're $80. Well, like, come on. Like, you know, if you're going to WrestleMania, and the tickets are $40,000. Well, now they're $39,980, which, like, look, is still more affordable than $40K. But if you're not going to WrestleMania, these are probably more worth your while. Anyway, guys, SeatGeek, promo code REALTAKE at checkout. I'm so serious. I've used this. I know other people have used this. Taco Kid somewhere in the chat has spoken about using it. It is a surefire way to save you money. It's more money for you to use on parking, more money for you to use on snacks or food at the arena. Please go ahead, use that. It's going to be right here. Link in the description, info in there. $20. $20 for you. You in your wallet. I can't even find my wallet. But if you know what, my wallet does have $20 because I saved it using the promo code RealTake on SeatGeek. All right, we're gonna leave that up in case anyone wants to look at that. Omar, you want to run a casino heist so we'll all go to WrestleMania? Yeah. I'm like Alan from The Hangover. I can count cards. So we'll do that. We'll totally do that. I mean, I think. Wait, hold up. Am I buying tickets for all of us? Nah, hold up. Nah, that would require like an Ocean's 11 style like mega heist. Like we would need to like this wouldn't be us like counting cards. This would be us literally robbing the casino, which I am not willing to do because that is illegal. I'd rather have fanboys than shady American businessmen who don't understand sports like the owners of Manchester United. Wait, who owns Manchester United? I don't even know who owns Man U. Wait, the Glazer family. Oh, okay, yeah, no, the Glazers are horrible owners. So yeah, sorry I hear that. That's $20 more than what they were going to pay you. Yep, that's a good shout. Shout out to Cody. I might find a way to like insert that into my ad reads moving forward. Anyway, guys, promo code RealTake, $20 off. All right. What else we got here? I think I did have like another thing. This list. Guys, today WWE came out with, I shit you not, probably the most egregiously gaslit list I have ever seen. This is an aggregation from Wrestle Ops. Here it is. So WWE ranks most indestructible superstars in history. And the way I perceive indestructible is like, stars who are just OP. Where it's like, oh my God, he just kicks out of everything. You can't keep him down. He's just so OP. Think The Undertaker. Think Primetime Fiend, okay? All right. Who are the most indestructible wrestlers in history? Number 1, The Undertaker. You're going to get no discussion, no debate out of me. I fully agree with that. Undertaker, he had that aura up until the end. Indestructible. Fully agree. Number 2, Brock Lesnar. Can't make an argument with that. Outside of his defeats in his first run, Brock was very well protected. He was indestructible. It felt like it was always going to be a chore to beat him, and it was a sprint in some of his matches for people to try to beat him. So yeah, I'm here for it. Number 3, Goldberg. Again, another guy. Another like big dude. Like he was what, like 800-0 or whatever he was in WCW? Yeah, sure. The Fiend. As a character, I don't disagree, although I will say this. He should be lower on this list just based off of booking. The Fiend himself and Bray Wyatt did a fantastic job. Booking-wise, WWE did everything they possibly could to undermine this character and how indestructible he was. But, that being said, should be on this list. Then we get to my first problem. Kane. And I think my issue with Kane is, look, Kane was around for over 20 years. He was around for over 20 years. He was a pin eater for the majority of that time. Let's be honest. He was a pin eater for the vast majority of that time. As Kane. When he first debuted up until like 2003, he was really good. And he had that aura. But man, Kane being on his list, higher than Hulk Hogan. Say what you want about that racist MFer, but Hulk Hogan was indestructible as a character. To have him lower than Kane is crazy work. Crazy work. Yeah, as Wall Street Money notes, Kane is one-day world championship. If I do not win the title, I will set myself on fire. Like, come on, what are we doing? But that's not even the most egregious here. Okay, Ultimate Warrior, I get what you're going for. I might not have him in my top 10, but, he's up there. He's in the rankings. Gotcha. All right. And I'm just going to get this out of the way. Number 9, Mankind, I fully agree with. Sure. Actually, no. I don't even know if I fully agree with this. Maybe he's not top 10, but he's top 15, top 20. But, yeah, Triple H Reign of Terror deserves this over these next two. Jacob Fatu, indestructible. Okay, here's what I'll say about Jacob Fatu. He certainly is on the path to being on this list. He's been in the company for like a year. I don't think that warrants him being all-time indestructible. I just don't. And you can disagree with me all you want. Body of work matters, and he just does not do it yet for me. But by far the most egregious and outrageous thing on this list. I'm going to be so honest with you guys. This is my 100% honest take. I thought this was a joke when I first saw it, but it's not. Solo Sikoa, ranked by WWE as the 10th most indestructible superstar of all time. This is the one list that I found and in my entire Frank, you agree with Solo being on this list? Yo, bro made me twitch. That's crazy. What do you do? Frank, what? Wait, no, timeout. Okay, no, okay. Dubs in the chat if you think Solo should be on this list. L's in the chat if you think he shouldn't be. Because I actually need to know. Am I wrong on this? Dubs in the chat. W's in the chat if you think he should be on this list. L's if you think he shouldn't be. Because now I'm concerned. Like, am I the issue? Am I the problem here? Because, brother, what is going on? What do we got here? Love you, my man, but fuck that Hugo. Oh, this? Yeah, no. Look. I got this as a hand-me-down. I did not buy this. It's just I have very little clean clothes, so I will take the criticism in that. Anyway, the but yeah, no. Fuck you can fuck this hoodie. Yeah, I'm here for it. Frank got the death stare. Yes, no, Frank definitely got the death stare for me. We got L's coming in the chat at a frantic face. Yeah, no, I mean, okay. Frank, thank you for clearing that up. This is how you know WWE will make Solo a future world champion. Yo, that's what I'm saying. They're warning us. They're definitely like warning us. They're like, nah, bro, it's happening. It is inevitable. Solo's gonna finish the story. Jacob, I agree with you. Okay. Yeah, I mean, like, again, I think Jacob is on the path. I just don't think he's there yet. Which, again, compared to Solo, Jacob is the least of this list problem. Solo Sikoa does not belong on this list. This is like genuinely like Val Venus could have. Val Venus is like one of the dumbest people on wrestling Twitter, or I guess wrestling Facebook, because he got banned from Twitter or something. But he could definitely do a better list than this. And like, there's nothing like what. I don't even understand what they're going for here. I genuinely don't understand what they are going for here. How is Solo Sikoa a top 10 all-time most indestructible star in WWE history, but then the likes of Andre the Giant are not even on this list? The likes of Kane are there. The likes of Mankind are just one above Solo. What are we doing? And we got like Frank Solo soft. Look, I'm not gonna speak to the man, but like, come on, bro. What are we doing? Jello Sikoa is a world champion. Hey, come on. That's crazy work. Now y'all are coming for that man's. No, don't come for my man Solo. Look, we all gotta. Anyway, no, Solo's in better shape than I am. I can't even talk about that. No Super Cena. No Bruno Sammartino. I'm saying Andre, Super Cena, and he's Roman Reigns. How is Roman not on this list? He was champ for 3 years. The entire point of him was being indestructible. What a stupid fucking list this is. Like this list broke me. This list genuinely broke me. I saw this at 11 a.m. coming out of a call, and I was just like, "What?" I was like, gonna beat my head against the wall because the wall was too far away. So I was just like, like what? like the entire point of this list was to rage bait us, and it worked. It worked. This was anyone who tells you this is serious. Anyone who tells you this is even remotely in the most microscopic way serious is gaslighting you. Who else should be on this list? I should be on this list over Solo Sikoa. Me, Omer Q, Big Ohm, like, share, subscribe, keep it real, all that stuff. What the fuck is Solo doing on this list? Like, come on, bro. Like, dog, this is insane. Bruno Sammartino, the longest world champion ever, and not in this list is blasphemy. Yes. Bruno's not on this list. Cena's not on this list. Roman's not on this list. Andre's not on this list. Fucking King Kong Bundy deserves to be on this list over Solo Sikoa. What are we doing? The Road Warriors should be on this list. Like, come on. This is like the most dumb brain rot, like, I started watching wrestling in 2022 ass list I have ever seen. Like, oh my God. Who approved this? Who? Like, I'm saying Solo's nowhere near, like, consideration for this list. What are we doing? I'm sorry. I've been doing a lot of screaming directly into the mic, but I'm crashing out IRL. Oh God. Nah, y'all need to stop. Okay, only WWE people, because like we can't even, like, I never went into this with the impression that this was even a wrestling list. This is a WWE list. Randy Orton should be on this list over Solo. 100p. Like, in fact, you know what, man? You know what? We're gonna do something that I don't normally do. And you know what? I hate doing this because I hate wasting like the energy on AI, but we're gonna do this once here. All right, people, ladies and gentlemen, people of all genders, we are going to ask ChatGPT. All right, I'm just gonna do it right here. We're doing it live. All right, we're gonna ask ChatGPT, who are the top 10 most indestructible? Oh, I spelled indestructible wrong. There we go. Indestructible. Umaga, Bobby Lashley. The chat is killing. Bro, the chat is like, y'all are wild. It's like, what did he say? I've started watching wrestling in 2022 list as well. It's what it is, though. It's what it is. Kevin Owens should be on this list. Anyway, okay. No. Sorry. Superstars in WWE history. We're gonna say all time. Rank them, please. All right, here we go. Can ChatGPT turn out a better list than this? Automatically. Stone Cold definitely belongs on this list. Oh, hold up. No. They just cleared this. Look at this. Number 1, Undertaker. Number 2, Hulk Hogan. Number 3, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Number 4, John Cena. Number 5, Brock Lesnar. Number 6, Roman. Number 7, Andre. Okay, they put Kane on here, whatever. Number 9, Goldberg. And then number 10, Triple H. They really said, no. ChatGPT's hip. ChatGPT's hip, guys. They know about the reign of terror. No, bro, that's crazy. ChatGPT said, nah. Triple H is a menace. Oh my God, they said, no. We saw Katie Vick. We saw what he did to Booker at WrestleMania 19. We saw what he did to Randy Orton's young career, trying to ruin it. Nah, they said, nah. Triple H, that man was indestructible. Oh my God. Okay. I think Carrick. guys, and I'm crashing out. I'm laughing. Like, AI did a better job on this list than WWE staff did. What the what? What? Oh my god. All right, hold up. I think Carrico said asking about same but outside of WWE. Okay. Now do outside of WWE. All right, let's see what it says. Outside of WWE. Yo. Nah, this is an OP list right here. These are okay. This is This is a fire ass list. Hold up. No, I gotta position myself here because they cooked. AI knows better wrestling than most wrestling fans. This is crazy. Bruiser Brody, number 1, a true wild man. Brody's aura was that of an untamed force who couldn't be controlled, let alone destroyed. Automatic. Bruiser Brody, for those of you who haven't seen, absolute freaking legend. He was the man when it came to the hardcore bruising style in the United States. He made it legendary. He's like the reason why you see like kind of like these like medium-sized big men like really do well. Shout out to Bruiser Brody. Stan Hansen. Shout out to Stan Hansen. I wouldn't have him at number 2 here, but he was definitely like one of the toughest SOBs who didn't get a big run in WWE. That's for damn sure. Antonio Inoki, 100 P. Let's go. 100 P. He belongs on this list. You know why he was indestructible? Little bit of being great. A little bit of the Triple H effect too, because that man was like, I'm not losing to this jobber. But Antonio Inoki belongs on this list. Kenta Kobashi, gotta be All Japan legend. They put the entire like freaking All Japan Noah Trinity here. We got Kobashi, they got Kawanda, they got Mitsuharu Misawa, Automatic. All of them belong on this list. They were so OP. They only ever lost to each other. We also have Kazuchika Okada, the ace of New Japan. I will say this though. You can make the case for Tanahashi here because I think Tanahashi, as far as like New Japan, guys, like who just like were OP, you gotta put that man in there. You gotta put that man in there. In my view. But he's not bad. Jushin Thunder Liger. Okay, this is like another one of those like it's like, oh, okay, that's a good name. Like Jushin Thunder Liger, indestructible. I don't know if that's how I would describe him. Road Warriors, Hawk and Animal, which WWE definitely should have had on this list. Automatic, indestructible, forces of nature, and then Big Van Vader. Put him at number 2 instead of Stan Hansen, and we're talking. Let's go. Good list. It's like that list is fire. It's just a list of fire professional wrestlers. That's it. We got El Juggalo in the chat saying, honestly, I'd say Madman Pondo definitely belongs on this list. Hardcore icon in Japan and in the US certain. I'm not familiar. Do I know? Am I familiar with this person? I am not. Okay. Shout out to him, I guess. Madman Pondo. Oh, the Juggalo Championship Wrestling. The Juggalo Championship Wrestling is crazy. All right, yeah, shout out to him. What else we got? Y'all are going crazy. Antonio Inoki. Oh, Leo, what's up, Leo? Good to see you, man. Late as always. Antonio Inoki is great. He's a great legend, but he almost put New Japan in bankruptcy multiple times. Look. Look. We never said he was the perfect Don, but he was our Don. All right. I'm once again late doing our live stream. Yes, you are. No Shockmaster, 100%. That wall did not stand a chance. Real Take Wrestling doing Real Take searching. Automatic, man. Automatic. Look, if I don't know something, I'll tell you. Hardcore US wrestling is not my forte. It's not my forte. That's something you got to ask Trevor about on OT Graps, which is gonna be back next week. We'll be back next week. Oh man, favorite Okada match. My favorite Okada match is the Omega. It's Omega versus Okada at Dominion 2018. Yeah, I would have to say, because I mean, to me, it is a match. If like, you know, Webster Dictionary like came to me and said, give me an example of you know, pro wrestling, I think that match exemplifies pro wrestling in a way that that you know, you can't like quantify. Like, it is the very definition of what a pro wrestling match should be. It is the perfect pro wrestling match. And in my view, I think it, like, I like, that's just it. I cannot think of a different Okada match that like made me feel the way that match did. You know, and like, they had like fucking like, what is it, like 5 other matches now. like you know, like they were. They killed it. They absolutely killed it together. We got Wall Street saying Okada versus Shibata. That was like one of Shibata's like last matches before the big injury too. So yeah, no, definitely. Like, that was also a spectacular match. There was like he also had like a match with Kota that was really good. Like, back in like 2017, he had a really good match with Kota. My favorite Okada match wasn't even a match. It's when he got up and beat the shit out of Ken in real life for 10 minutes straight. Nah, bro. Okay. You know what? I might have to take it back. I think Okada might be on this list of most indestructible non-WWE talent of all time, strictly because he channeled his inner Antonio Inoki, because he looked at that man, he's like, he just started smacking that shit out. Because I'm like, that is the spiritual successor to Antonio Inoki. That is what would Inoki do? He would beat the tar out of that kid for 10 minutes. Okada is a gem, bitch. What's the beef between those two? He hit him too hard. He did not know his place. That's essentially it. First Okada versus Kenny match. Was that the G1, or was that Wrestle Kingdom? God, I need to get these in my head better. Oh man, I can't believe that list took us through. That list really took us through a whirlwind, didn't it, guys? What a whirlwind that was. And the real G's kept it here. Kiddo kicked him in the face by accident. Okada just beat the shit out of him. Yup. It led to a match in Noah Pro Wrestling, I think. Oh, because Okada did do like a brief run there, didn't he? Hot take. Kyle Fletcher is being pushed too hard. Oh, okay. I have like, you got me like for another 5 minutes and then I have to leave for dinner. But Carrico, tell me, my fellow Hasanabe head. I think you're the Hasanabe, the other Hasanabe head. You might be. I don't know. If you don't know what that means, then I'm obviously thinking of the wrong person. But give me why he's being pushed too hard. Kyle Fletcher, pink suit. Nah, yo, bro. Kyle Fletcher in pink hits. Push him to the moon. In pink. Only pink. He should only wear pink. That was Wrestle Kingdom Hunter. Okay, got it. Thank you. Because the G1 match was the follow-up. And then they did the Dominion match. Man, that Dominion match was insane. 2 out of 3 falls. That's what pro wrestling's supposed to be. Kyle is being pushed to the moon. Can't say I hate it, but I think Hangman facing the TNT champion is a bit weak right now. I would have... Look, obviously Kenny can't do it. I would have just ran back Kenny versus Hangman. That would have been a great match to have in the spot, but it seems like Kenny Omega is either building up to something else or most likely just taking some time off. Because he is banged. Like, you know, people think he came back healthy. Like, he's banged up pretty bad. Like, his body is not the same as what it used to be. You know? Yeah. Carrico, you got me for another like minute or two, and then I have to jump. It's like Kyle is legit. Thank you, Hunter. He is legit. He's too legit to quit. Carrico, you got me for another minute, and then I gotta jump because like I have to eat. I have not eaten today. Oh man, hold up, nah. In honor of my Baltimore Ravens, all right. In honor of my Baltimore Ravens, Carrico, you have until Stavros. Sorry, not Stavros. Sorry, Ronnie from Baltimore. My fellow Baltimorean has before he just like stops crashing out about how cooked the Ravens are because we got cooked. We got cooked pretty bad.
What the fuck? How the fuck did we lose that fucking game? 16 fucking points, yo, unanswered, yo. What the fuck is up with our defense getting cooked? Michael McDonald's, where the fuck is you at, yo? Come back from Seattle, fucking lost to the Niners.
Like what the Seahawks coordinator, the Seahawks head coach was our coordinator. He's like, Michael McDonald, where the fuck you at, yeah?
Anyway.
You lost anyways.
Derrick Henry fumbling the ball. What the fuck, Derrick Henry? I hate to say, yeah, we might need to move on. Get a running back with an intangible quality, somebody different. I don't know, somebody like Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, I was about to say intangible quality. 100p means white. 100p means white. like, bro, I love this Ronnie bit because it's like there are dumbasses in Baltimore who genuinely believe this shit. And like they take this bit as serious, but it's crazy. No, okay, this was me after 100p. Yeah, I was crashing out hard.
For your Cam Scatterboo or something like that.
Cam Scatterboo? Cam Scatterboo just like, what's another white running back that's active I can name Cam Scatterboo?
Those guys really stick out to me. New kickers fucking missing extra points. Break back Justin Tucker, yo. Come on. What'd he do that was so fucking bad?
Oh, dear.
I've been banned from White Marsh Mall for action for a fucking happy ending from Supercuts. Big deal. Everybody
Bruh, this is it's crazy as someone who's from Baltimore. This being like so like Baltimore coded is crazy. Insane. Again, there are genuinely like dudes who after the Ravens lose, they crash out like this. That's the whole point of this Stavros bit. It's not serious. It's satire.
does it, yo. You gotta relieve stress. It's a stressful job. Kicking, being a fucking kicker.
Oh, brother.
Lamar couldn't get it done on the fucking last drive. There's only one thing to do. Lamar's good most of the game. He can't do it in the big moments. Trade 4 first-round picks for Joe Flacco. He will be our fourth quarter quarterback, yo. The Browns need that shit, okay? They don't know what the fuck they're doing. Fuck you, Josh Allen. Fuck the Buffalo Bills. We fucking suck.
This was more or less me last night. The racism and massages notwithstanding and not included, but no, this was like more or less like every like every freaking dude from Baltimore who's just crashing out. He is drunk. No, it's a bit. Stavros is just Stavros is like Stavros Halkis is a comedian, dope comedian, big supporter of him. But like he just Stavi like just crashes out hard. In like it's a satirical thing he does. It's like satire where he's like he's like making fun of like every white dude from Baltimore after the Ravens lose. And like the talking points are pretty accurate because every white dude afterwards just like, we need it's for ever since Lamar took over, the whole thing's always been, we need to bring back Joe Flacco. Like that's it. YouTube ran ad as soon as your alarm went off. Great. Okay, this is not work. That was supposed to be an alarm for this morning for 7:45 a.m., but it never went off, and now I know why. It should be 10 seconds of rage. It was more than 10 seconds. The only problem with this bit is too long. No, here's the thing. The bit is made for people from Baltimore just to crash out and name drop stuff. Vince McMahon is trending. Oh no. Oh, okay. We'll have to look into that. Who are the Ravens? Yeah, the losers. That's who we are. Baltimore is the name. I gave to one of my exes is crazy. The defense lost the game. 100 P. The defense lost the game. John Harbaugh lost the game. The only hot-headed Ravens thing I will ever say is John Harbaugh probably needs to be fired. Anyway, going back to lastly the Kyle Fletcher comment, Caracol, that you had. Kyle Fletcher is legit, but he injures people recklessly. Oh, come on now. No, he doesn't. He's just. I don't blame him for the look. The Dustin Rhodes thing was going to happen. His man's knees were shot before that match. They just gave out. The Adam Cole thing, I'm not going to put that on him. Every day this chat becomes more sus, and I love to see it. We got a bunch of, bro, we got some maniacs in the chat. Absolute maniacs in the chat. What about Stelio Cantos? What about Luis? Stavros, the man, a true progressive. Shout out to Stavi. Shout out to all of them. She was Voldemort, man. In the one leg, you shall not be named. All right. Well, guys, all of you shall not be named, even though I love every single one of you. Frank, Caracol, Leo, everyone who joined, Wall Street Money, obviously, Hunter, everyone who joined in, Michelle. Thank you guys so much. It's like, get that heat. Real maniac. Wait, what is this? Do people actually think Kyle injured Adam Cole because the slow motion shows you Adam's head didn't even hit that? Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, I appreciate all of you guys. This has been fun. If you haven't already left a thumbs up, guys, on your way out, please leave a thumbs up. It helps more than you'll ever know. Until next time, I'm Omar Q, Big Ohm. Be happy, be healthy, and as always, keep it real. Enjoy your Monday night or Tuesday morning for those of you who are not in America. Bye.